Hi guys! I'm going to start this video off with a giant
PSA.
This video is not your one-size-fits-all advice dump. By the end of this video, you're going to walk away knowing how to put together your own process so that you walk into your audition or performance confident, calm, and aligned. I'm going to share with you my 4 most foundational pieces to my day before an audition so that you can mold those structures to what you need. If you're like me and you've struggled to find exactly what to do on the day of a big audition or performance that not only helps you walk in completely confident, prepared, but also incredibly empowered in who you are and what you have to offer, then watch to the end of this video. But before we dive in, I'd love to put a plug in for subscribing to this channel, giving a like to this video by the end of it if you like the content, and commenting below with who you are, where in the world you are, and what you do. And if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Broen. I am a professional opera singer, mezzo-soprano, with a master's in vocal performance and a professional career that's taken me all over the world. And in my day job, I am also a professional life coach. That means that I have gone through an accredited year-long training program through the International Coach Federation and work with highly successful artists and musicians and creators all over the world who are committed to making a big impact on the world while not losing their quality of life and their sense of fulfillment and well-being. So if that sounds like you, check out the description box and send me an email so that we could set up a complimentary call, but otherwise, stay tuned to the video. So let's dive in. Tip number 1 is around time. Now, I don't know about your personal relationship with time, but for me, if I walk into an audition having been stressed and hurried throughout the day before that audition, I'm going to communicate that same stress and worry into my presence when I walk in. So my first and foremost tip for you is structuring and planning your time with a lot of intention. What that looks like on my end is, say I have an audition at 11 a.m. Not the most ideal time as an opera singer to sing, but it happens. So what I do, because normally I like to spend a lot of time warming up and doing the things that we're going to cover in the next few tips. So I will actually wake up very early in the morning if I have a before noon audition. So that means, for example, if I have an 11 a.m. audition, I may wake up at 5 a.m. Now, the caution that I have about this is you may not be a morning person.
I am not a morning person.
So that's the whole point of doing this. When you schedule in this extra time to give yourself like a leisurely, unhurried, luxurious, spacious schedule before your audition, you give your body, mind, instrument, and just life time to wake up and get energized and focused. I find if I have an audition earlier in the day and I let myself sleep into the normal time that I wake up, maybe between 7 and 9, I'm gonna feel hurried because I have a lot of other things that I want to do in order to center myself and get my body set up for success. So wake up early. Tip number 2 is about aligning the body. So this is something that I could actually make an entire separate video on, but I wanted to put this in here because I think it's an incredibly important and sometimes overlooked step in the process of getting ready for an audition. A lot of musicians will think about getting a good night's sleep, having good nutritious meals, and getting to the audition on time, and they're thinking about their performance and the music that they're gonna offer, but they'll skip over the self-care piece. For this video, I wanna put in 2 pieces to my process, at least, that I want to offer to you. One is moving my body. That means exercising and sweating in the most traditional sense. So I'm probably not, as a singer, going to be doing like ab workouts for days on the day of an audition. What I will instead do is something that gets my heart beating and my blood flowing and some sweat coming out of my face, because I find that energizing my body with an actual workout, especially something maybe cardio based, wakes me up, it gets my blood flowing, and it gets my breathing going in the morning. And then a second piece to that routine will involve stretching. Sometimes for me that may look like yoga, sometimes it may be specific stretches around my core muscles that I use for my instrument, but whether you're a singer or an instrumentalist or an actor watching this video, I want you to consider that movement and alignment are the goal for this step number 2. Since I'm speaking to an audience of probably a pretty diverse set of artistic skills and experience, I would love for you to comment below like what your go-to workout or yoga routine or stretch routine looks like. I'd be happy to share mine in the comments as well, so look below and give me some feedback. And now I want to go to our mind. As a life coach, this is where the rubber hits the road. So what number 3's tip is empowering visualization. Now, this may be something that you've never tried or you're super experienced in. Some of you may meditate, some of you may never have. Whatever your experience is, I want to offer just an exercise that I do or that I've offered for some of my clients to take on a day of an audition or performance. And it's super duper simple. It's actually just getting really present with a pen and paper. So the exercise is write out a diary entry as if you've already completed the audition. So if you're recording in your diary the best audition you've ever had, what you sang or played, how the audience or judging panel reacted, how it felt and how you expressed yourself so authentically and musically, what you did, how you felt, what it smelled like in the room, the look on the judges' faces, the feedback you got, the way that you just stood your ground or sat in your seat on your sits bones, whatever it is, write it out as if it's already happened. I find that this exercise gives people who've never done visualization access to the power of it, because it's actually just using your imagination that puts your brain in the space that you want it to be when you walk into that audition. And finally, tip number 4, we're gonna look at creating an on-deck game plan. What that means is when the nerves set in, what do you do? This is where you wanna ask yourself, what do you need 5 minutes before you walk into the audition room? Now, this is where it gets really personal, I think, because everybody's needs are gonna be different. So, for example, if you're somebody who has a lot of anxious nerves where your heart is racing and your body is jittery, some people really thrive by doing jumping jacks or running in place or just moving the body a lot right before they walk in so that it's kind of like you flush the nerves. Some people really need to release and expand. So sometimes doing some sort of like runner's pose, like to stretch out the legs and pulling out your chest and expanding into like starfish or whatever, that might support you. So something to look at is like really thinking about the 3 tips we just went through, but in a very condensed amount of time for 5 minutes before the audition. And is there an affirmation that speaks to you and what your aim to accomplish is? Can you take a line out of your visualization and use that as the foundation for your intention walking into that room? I know sometimes for me, my affirmation or what I focus on in that 5 minutes before in my mind will change. Sometimes it's an affirmation that I say over and over again that I am fully enough. Sometimes it's a reminder that I already have everything I need and the universe is here to support me. So whatever that comes from this opportunity, whether it's a yes or a no, it's in alignment with me blossoming in life. And some people really thrive with like pep talks, like, let's go baby, let's rock this thing. You know, sometimes it's a high energy pump up speech that you kind of go through in your mind. Wherever you are in the spectrum, totally awesome. But what I want you to consider is that, again, these 3 pieces we went through before now are almost the exact same process to go through 5 minutes before you go in. I really want you to practice that 5-minute crunch time before the day of the audition, because it's actually the game changer in my audition process that I think you may get a lot of value out of, knowing what you need and practicing different things to see what happens. So give it a try. Let me know what you're walking away with. Let me know what your game plan is, leaving this video and going to go practice, and let us know how it goes. That concludes today's video from your How to Rock an Audition tips from your favorite mezzo-soprano and life coach. If you liked this, please give it a like. If you want more content from me every week, hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification. And if you'd like some more of these sort of mindset, maybe downloadable content or ones that show up in your inbox, go to my website, www.ellenbroen.com. It's in the linked description below. And subscribe to my newsletter that I'll be giving every single week for you, as well as weekly videos. And don't forget to introduce yourselves in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories and get to know you and build a community here on YouTube. And like I said at the top of the video, if you're interested in having a complimentary one-on-one conversation about what I do as a life coach, shoot me an email. I'll include it all below, and I'd love to have a conversation. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Bye.